Okay, now it's streaming on YouTube. That's what the little thing says. Okay, let me check on my end. Where did, oh, there it goes. Awesome. Okay, we're live. All right, so here we are with Tara Winter of IITS. So I just want to ask you a couple of questions, of course, about yourself mainly, and then of course, then any other things that you can tell us about, any projects and IITS, of course. So first, tell me about yourself. How about your journey and spirituality and gifts?
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for having me here and for being willing to listen to my story and just being that support system for me. I really appreciate being able to talk about my spirituality and my growth. It really has been something that I have it's been a real journey. I in preparation for this call today, I spoke with my mom and I said, Mom, when was the first time that you noticed that I could see, hear spirits? Because my first memory is of actually seeing a spirit. And so I was interested. I've never asked her that question before. And she said, well, you were about 2 when I remember you talking about spirit. And my first memory is when I was 4. I had a spirit that looked much like a monkey. What I thought was a monkey. It was a little dark entity that liked to jump on my bed and scare me to death. So that was my very first memory of spirit. So then as it progressed, I grew up in a very Christian home. And so, speaking to spirits, hearing spirits, knowing all of that was very much you didn't do. And that was kind of evil. You don't do those things because that's what the Bible says, that mediumship is not something you do. And so I spent a lot of time stuffing all that down, trying to keep that door closed, trying to just do anything I could, beg, plead, God, please take this gift away. I don't want it, whatever. I did a lot of praying and to no avail. It continued. So I'll skip forward to I had some very tumultuous teenage years of entities being in my room and all kinds of crazy things like that. And eventually, it's funny that when every New Year's resolution, and we're coming up on that time, and I was kind of thinking back to, I had 2 New Year's resolutions through my whole life. One was, I'm going to lose weight, everybody's. And 2, I'm going to get this spiritual thing figured out. I'm just gonna, not be afraid of it anymore. And so the last 5 years, I really just started to embrace it and I let the door open. I literally said, okay, I'm game and I'm not going to be afraid of this anymore. And so it was very empowering to really step into that. It's been a flurry of craziness along the way. Last year kind of was a big awakening for me in that I learned how to meditate, and that really helped me understand and see more visions, because I'm starting to really see some more visions of how the universe really works and how spirit works, and the being able to get into the heart space and do that kind of work was so healing for me. And to understand that, entities are around us all the time. They're everywhere. I see them everywhere. They're quite distracting, actually. So during that big awakening, it was not too long after that my father was diagnosed with stage 4 stomach cancer. And I thought, I have got to do something, anything, use any of my tools that I've had. I mean, good Lord, I was born with this. And so I decided to become a Reiki went through Reiki 1 and 2 and became a practitioner. And during that time, during his cancer, I was able to, send him energy healing during his chemo, and, really felt a beautiful transition whenever he was on his last breath, being able to be there with him and send him off with Reiki energy. That was a beautiful healing experience for both me and my family. And so, that the Reiki, all of these things have just really opened up the world for me, as far as being able to really embrace everything that's happened to me during my life. It's probably what I'm here to do, is figure this all out.
That's awesome. So can you tell us a little bit more about your gifts in particular? I know you're a healer, but anything else that more detailed, I would say?
Sure. Yeah. So I'm able to, I see spirit both in physical form, as well as I can speak to them. They speak to me. I am able to channel. I learned how to channel. Actually, this is really interesting. I learned how to channel when I was 7 years old. I was a Pentecostal. I grew up Pentecostal, and they teach you how to, in order to receive light language or tongues, you're waiting on spirit literally to, come into your heart space, and then you speak. It really is a form of channeling. And so I learned how to do that very early on. I never used it other than that for that purpose until most recently. And then I was able to channel in beings, all kinds of higher beings, I would say, even some, even some alien type beings, which made me question some experiences that I had, in my teenage years, whether those were actual beings or were those aliens.
Yes.
Still to be determined.
It's very mind blowing, especially when you're like, wait a minute, like, I think I've seen you before.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, girl.
So mediumship is your strongest suit, pretty much your clairvoyance, and of course clear cognizance, which is your channeling, and of course auditory and stuff like that. So you have all the clairs like down pat, pretty much. So
yeah, and it's so it's so unusual, because I was telling my mom this today. I was like, I'm a Taurus. Tauruses, they typically aren't the ones that have all of the clairs, I mean, and maybe that's just me and kind of what I've read about. I've recently gotten into astrology through Jack's Atlantis. And so just learning about that, and I was kind of reading, and I was like, this says that Tauruses generally aren't the most psychic people or be able to do, but who knows?
Well, I would say it's more hereditary, like it's more genetics than anything. You're proof of it, of course, because I feel like any Taurus that I've ever met has more insight. To me, it feels like there's like things that they just know, and it's like without even, knowing where it came from, and so it's like magic to me. It's like super magical with the Tauruses and earth signs, period. Like I always see that they have a strong connection mediumship wise too. But the good thing about you guys is that you guys can anchor it in, like you guys don't float away like other signs would just run away with it, or you guys are more like let's anchor this in, let's evaluate this, let's really understand what this means, you know? And so that's the beauty of the earth signs, especially Taurus and even Virgo, for example. I always find these two signs being highly psychic, but also very practical with their, you know, abilities. And so I always see this in the earth signs, at least in my opinion.
Well, it's interesting that you bring up the family lineage, because that's very true. When I was investigating, really digging deep to figure out, you know, what is this? You know what I mean? Where did this all come from? And then I look at my mother, who is very intuitive, and then my grandmother, who's also very religious. She was intuitive, and then there were stories about her mother who saw apparitions and things like that. So it has run down through the family. So that is very well.
Yeah, very magical family then.
Yeah. A lot of women who stuffed it down because it was, you know, it was just scary, you know, and you know, if you can just pray it away, it might go away, but it hasn't.
It'll get stronger.
It manifests in like poltergeist activity. All kinds of crazy things will happen if you try to stuff that down.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I always see that too, like with people who tell me like they're, you know, oh my God, I just wanted to go away. It's not going to go away. It's you. This is who you are.
I've never, and also a very interesting fact, I've also never lived in a home that wasn't filled with spirits, or I'll take that even a step further. I've never been anywhere that isn't filled with spirits, because they're everywhere. It's so distracting. I'm complaining, but I'm learning to embrace it, really. All these years, I'm almost 50, right? And I should have a handle on this by now, but I spent a lot of time trying to ignore it. But, you know, in meetings, people's loved ones are trying to get my attention, you know, they're, you know, and I'll look out, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have got to stay focused. I can't do this. People really think I'm weird, honestly. When I'm at work and in meetings, like they really do think I'm weird, because I get distracted by the activities of other spirits going on in the room. But
and they're like, what do you see?
Well, and you know, in my professional life, most people don't know about my, the people that are close to me know, because they just know. But most of my professional, you know, outside of my circle wouldn't necessarily know that, although they probably picked up on the weird vibes. Just
So Brooke and Jackson, Tina are here and they're saying hi.
Hi guys, I missed you.
So anyway, can you tell us a little bit about IITS and how you and your lovely partners, I would say, had this vision? I want to hear the story. I loved it the first time I heard it.
So this was during a time that, you know, I talked about starting to meditate and really using the channeling gift. And Brooke Nickel was really instrumental in helping me deal with the things that my father was going through, and helping me learn to embrace my spirituality. And so through that, she and I both really, you know, she would receive a channeled message and then I would receive a channeled message, and together we kind of came in together. And we also had another partner that was with us at the time. And she and Brooke and myself came together, and some of the things that we were hearing were things like, I want to explore my I want to explore my spirituality, but I can't because I can't afford it. And, you know, with me, that rang a bell. Like, people should not have to mortgage their house in order to pay for their spirituality, in order to explore who they are. I mean, it is literally a soul calling to figure out, I'm supposed to be on this path, whatever it is. You know, it's not a religion thing at all. It's really just that soul path that you need, that people are craving so badly to find out who they are and why they're here and what's their next step and what's the next level, or how can they get help. And it is so expensive to, you know, take the Reiki classes or to do, and because practitioners need to be paid. I mean, we all know that. And so through a channeled message, you know, it was said, there literally are people who were given wealth in order to fund people being able to find their purpose. And when that message came through, I said, okay, my background is in not-for-profit, and I will do whatever I can in order to create a space for people to come and learn whatever their soul path is, whether it's music through creative outlet, whether it's being able to learn the art of karate, or whether it's learning, you know, being a chef, putting your love through food. Whatever your soul mission is, that's what we want to be here to create that space.
That's beautiful. And so when was this, I would say, when was the birth of this whole vision?
About a year and a half ago, probably in about October of last year. There was some immediate call to that things were going to change. In some of the channel message was that things were going to change drastically, that we really needed to, people need to learn how to do organic gardening, that they needed to learn how to be sustainable. And it's interesting because this was way before COVID happened, but the message was, you know, being able to teach people how to be sustainable, not only in their life, but their food and their living. That all needs to happen.
Yeah. And can you give us more information about what beyond what the vision was? How do you what is your role, I would say, in IITS? More than like.
So my role is, I'm the board president, and so I've always seen my role as kind of the anchor on the board to get IITS up and running. My profession is a fundraiser, and so it's interesting also that my gift has also led into me being a fundraiser, because I've always had that intuitive knowledge to know how much money to ask from someone, and how much they will give. And so I have used that through my life in my role as a fundraiser. So that's been one blessing of the gift that I have. And so just that intuitive knowledge of being able to get up a not-for-profit. And the goal of IITS is really to be able to provide it for free. You know, if we could, you know, get the grant money to provide scholarships for people so that they can come in and learn yoga or learn whatever it is in their spiritual path or growth that they need to learn, that we be able to provide that for them. It really is just going to be an open space for anyone to come and just find their soul path. And in that too, also in that channeled message was that there needed to be research done, really to back up that there was technology today that could show, literally, that could show the healing happening. The healing is going to be so instantaneous and so like people are going to be able to come in and be healed through the, like a Reiki practitioner, or through maybe some shaman work, or whatever it is, that this healing is going to happen, and it's going to be instantaneously. And so to have the equipment in place to be able to research it and to really show that this works, that it's not just hooey. Because I think that a lot of people think, that energy work, whatever, So, does it really work? There's been some studies, but we want to do some empirical studies and really show that it does work.
Absolutely, yes.
So that was kind of a twofold of that.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, that's great.
So a place for, a place for people to heal.
And so what other things is, for example, donation wise, because you guys are non-for-profit, where can people find you guys to, I would say, contribute and to help with the mission?
We have a website. We're on Facebook, and we have a website, templesciences.com. We also, if they would like to give, they can text IITS to 44321. That's 44321. And then you can give a donation right there. But we are creating master classes. Jackson Lannis is the CEO of IITS, and he has been working really hard to, get the schedule together with the peace dealer, Michael. And so pretty soon those master classes are going to start to come out. We've been working on a building. So that's also an interesting thing, is that normally when you put together a plan for an organization, you usually don't start with a building first. That's usually not what you usually start small, and you work your way. And then in a couple of years, you look at a building, you kind of do it that way. But Spirit was very clear with that. That's not the way things work. The manifestation is really about holding that feeling. So we're really literally working backwards. And it's a process to show us how manifestation works. And so we've just been going with it. The building has been created. Jax has been instrumental also in that, working with our architect. And so it's ready to be funded. So what we've been doing is calling in the people who are here, have been provided that wealth. We were told they were here, to step forward and be a champion of that. And so right now we are in the kind of, we're getting ready to show off the building, show what has been done, and that'll be in the next probably 2 or 3 weeks, I would imagine. It's coming along. So it's exciting to kind of, it's exciting to throw away the old conventional way of doing things and just literally follow what the universe and the spirit has to say. Because if you follow that, magic just happens. It just all comes into place. So it's exciting. Yeah, I encourage anybody that wants to be on board, you want to test out some of the master classes, be kind of our guinea pigs, please shoot us an email, shoot us or message us there on Facebook. We would love to hear from you and how you might want to be engaged, because and share out, get as many people as you can to really be on board with this project, because it's going to be really amazing.
Yes. And can you give us a little bit about possible location where the building might be, if you can, of course?
You know, uh, it's really hasn't been determined yet. So that's, again, who puts together a building without a location? But I fully believe that it is coming. So, it'll be here soon.
Awesome. All
We
right.
will know soon. I'd have no doubt.
And so do you guys have any other things that you guys are going to be doing for project wise for assistance? If I know you guys had the give a day to give or something like that. I forgot how you.
Yeah. Yep, this week was Giving Tuesday. And so that's a kind of an online universal day, but everyone gives. And people did step up and give, and we were so grateful for that. And because that just comes back into what that translates into is that you are literally paving the path for someone to learn about their soul mission. I mean, you literally are doing that. And that is a beautiful thing. So, yeah, that just getting the word out and people giving and being a part of this it's going to be its own blessing.
Yes. I'm excited about it.
Yes, I'm excited too. I mean, all the things that are kind of coming up. Jax has kind of got some things in his back pocket. He's not ready to release yet, but he's definitely a true treasure to have as our CEO. And you being on the board as well, it just adds that whole beautiful. I keep seeing, honestly, I'll just tell you, I just keep seeing your tribe behind you. They are so, yay! I mean, it's such a beautiful thing. So,
Thank you. So, is there any other thing you would like to say to the audience? Any words of wisdom?
This coming up year is going to be a very key time for people to really get down to business and take account of their life, where they're at. If you are here and alive during this time, you chose to be here during a time that is so instrumental in the Earth's progression. I mean, we're coming into the age of Aquarius. What a beautiful space to be in. And so really, as you make your New Year's resolution, really take time to think about, are things sustainable? Can I live sustainable? Can I live without power? Can I live without, food? How would I get food? I mean, I think as everyone was locked down this year, they had a glimpse of it. And I have to say, from what I've heard coming down this pipeline, is that there's going to be a little more of that coming around. So really just work on those things and move forward in that light, that things are not going to go back to normal. This is the forever, the always, and it's part of the ascension process. So know that.
Yes. Thank you so much, Tara, for being here and for telling us about your story. If you guys
now I'm out. Everybody will know.
You're out of the closet. The spiritual closet, okay? If everybody's interested in, IITS, they have a Facebook business page as well as their website. And of course, donation wise, you guys can go to the link that I put in the information section below this video. All of the links are there if you guys are interested in learning more and even contacting Tara or Jax Atlantis or even Brooke. Head over there, follow the business page, like the business page on Facebook. The more traction they have, the more people can be, could see what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, because it's always an algorithm with Facebook too. So more likes, more follows, more interaction, the better. All right.
Yeah, more that people can get out, more people that can know about this, the better, because again, it's all about providing a space for people to heal and to find their soul mission.
Yes.
And to be able to do that without mortgaging their house.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
You know,
Yeah, I could tell you guys, there's some people out there that are charging 10 grand per person just to teach you something for a month. And that's ridiculous.
yeah. Yeah, and in that, you know, back to the practitioners deserve to be paid. There's been a lot of work to get them to where they are as well, in their journey. However, they're through the not-for-profit, not only could we pay the practitioners, you know, a wage, then we could also scholarship people in for them to, you know, not only have access to the spiritual advisors, one-on-one access through healing, through learning, they'll have that access, which is priceless. Yes. And it won't cost an arm and a leg.
Yeah. That's the beauty
or
of
a house.
It too. Yeah, exactly. That's the beauty of it too. That's why I fully support this project. I fully support what you're doing, Tara and Brooke and Jax, you know, because it just feels very Aquarian age, where we have to really shift our perspective regarding, you know, spirituality. If we really want it to be inclusive, we really have to make it that way. Oh, sorry about that. What happened?
I have no idea. At Spirit.
Spirit's like, the age of Aquarius. Just kidding. All right. So
right.
That's all we have for tonight, you guys. Thank you guys for being here. Jax, Kimberly, Tina, and Brooke. Thank you guys. And we'll see you guys next time. Okay. So go check out those links if you are watching this later on. We'll see you guys. Thank you guys so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.